Welcome back. With the Euros starting tomorrow, let's predict match day 1 for every single team. The European Championships are a great tournament. Looking at every single match day will be a really fun experience. I'm going to be doing match day 2 and 3 when we get closer to those dates. But for now, let's look at match day 1, and our first matchup is Germany versus Scotland. This is a very interesting matchup because Scotland are coming in probably favorites to finish bottom in this group. Germany are coming in favorites to win this group. This is the first match of the tournament. It happens tomorrow. What do I think is going to happen? Germany are coming in having not been in the greatest of form, but then recently really turning it off with victories against France and the Netherlands. And they're playing on home soil, which will be really important for them. The home fans will be behind them. They'll feel at home playing in there. They've got young players like Jamal Musiala in this tournament. They've also got experienced players like Toni Kroos in this tournament. I think the Germans win this matchup 4-0. The second matchup of Group A is Hungary versus Switzerland. Hungary are coming in really good form. They've only conceded twice in their last 5 matches. They've been winning a lot of matches as well, and they're coming in playing rock solid defense and using the counterattack in order to win matches. Switzerland are coming in having only managed a maximum of 1 goal in 4 out of their last 5 matches, being shut out in 2 of those. Their one match where they won was against Estonia, and it was 4-0, and so that's the one match they scored more than 1 goal. So what can you really gain from this? Switzerland aren't great at putting the ball in the back of the net. Hungary are great from stopping the ball going into the back of the net. Hungary can find a way to counterattack. So that's why I'm going to predict Hungary to win 2-1 in this matchup. Going into Group B, we have Spain versus Croatia. Probably the biggest matchup so far in match day 1. Both top 10 ranked teams. Both teams with aspirations of winning this group and going on to have a good knockout stage. What do I think is going to happen here? Spain are coming in with a very young team, very inexperienced team, and trying to use this tournament as a bridge to the next World Cup and the next Euros to really gain experience with this team. They're scoring a lot of goals in their matches coming into this match, and they're really in great form. Croatia, on the other hand, have just recently beaten Portugal. I believe they won that match 2-1, so they're firing on all cylinders as well, but their squad is different from Spain's squad. They're a little bit of an older team. It's the end of their golden generation. They're coming in with Luka Modric probably playing his last major international tournament, but we'll see what that happens. So both teams in 2 different stages. One team trying to have a one final swan song, one team building towards future tournaments. So I'm going to give this a 2-2 draw. A very exciting matchup, but I wouldn't be surprised if Spain nicked it in the end. The second matchup of Group B, a much easier matchup to predict, Italy versus Albania. Italy aren't coming in great form. They've been slowing down a little bit, but recently they've started to turn that form around. They're getting some victories, getting some cohesion in the team. They just need big players like Federico Chiesa to show up and Scamacca up front and have him be a focal point for their offense. Because Spain really operate well when they have a focal point striker, like Immobile in the past. Can Scamacca be that replacement? I think they'll beat Albania very easily 3-0. A great matchup for them to start this tournament off with. Then we look at Poland versus the Netherlands. The Netherlands here coming in as my favorite to be the dark horse for the tournament. If you watch my recent Euro predictions, my final one, I predicted the Dutch to beat the Spanish in the final. I would love to actually see that happen. I'm not Dutch myself, but I think that would be a really brilliant tournament for this Euros this summer. So they are my dark horse. Poland really only have Lewandowski to rely on. They do have other players, I'm not trying to say that, but Lewandowski is who they rely on. Every single time we come into a tournament, we always say Poland, well, they've got Lewandowski, they're going to be able to do well. But every single tournament, they fail to get him service. He's just kind of standing up there like a pylon, doing absolutely nothing. So I'm going to pick the Dutch win this 3-1. Poland get a goal in like the 80th minute just as a consolation. Netherlands go up 3-0. Poland get one back, so the end score is 3-1. Then we have Slovenia versus Denmark, our first matchup in Group C. The Danish are really looking to have a good tournament. They have Rasmus Højlund, Christian Eriksen coming to the end of his tenure there. Slovenia have never won a match at the Euros before, so the Danish have a very nice kind of start here. So I'm going to pick the Danish win this one 2-0. A fairly easy victory for them going forward. The final matchup in Group C is England versus Serbia. England need to come into this dominating and have the mindset of being a shark and killing the Serbians in this matchup. They cannot go and draw. They cannot go and lose, because then the British media are going to lose their minds if that happens. We are entering into another golden generation for this English team with players like Jude Bellingham, Phil Foden, Bukayo Saka, Declan Rice, Harry Kane, a bit of the old guard now going through. John Stones, again, a bit of the old guard going through. Luke Shaw's on this team. So they've got a brilliant team. Can they put it all together and actually win a tournament? They've not won a tournament since 1966, the World Cup, with Sir Bobby Moore on that team and Sir Bobby Charlton. So they need to come into this tournament absolutely dominating the Serbians. I predict them to win 4-1. The only thing that can get in England's way this tournament is Gareth Southgate. Will he be a liability for them? Then we look at Romania versus the Ukraine. This is a very interesting matchup. Two teams that are the lower rated teams within their groups. Ukraine have aspirations of probably finishing second within this group. They have Belgium in their group, so second place would be good for them. They're going to be trying to come in and really get a result here against Romania. But Romania know that the Ukraine is a team that they can get a result from. If Romania want to go through in like a third place or a second place, they've got to either draw or win matches against like the Ukraine or Slovakia. So I'm going to predict a 1-1 draw here, and Romania get the draw and get a vital point for them going forward. Belgium and Slovakia is the next matchup within this group. This is a very interesting matchup. Belgium, kind of the end of their golden generation. Can De Bruyne, Lukaku kind of put it all together and really go through and get some victories here. They're starting off with a very easy group with Romania, Ukraine, Slovakia in it. So they should win every single matchup. They start off with Slovakia, and a big thing here is Slovakia do not hold a candle to the Belgians. So I think Belgium will come through and win 4-1 in this matchup, absolutely destroying the Slovakians here. Then we fast forward all the way back to the final matchup of Group D, which is happening now, which is France versus Austria. So France versus Austria kind of have a little bit of time to wait before they do play their matchup, even though Poland and the Netherlands played a couple days before. France are coming in after drawing to the Canadians 0-0. And why I mentioned the 0-0 part of it is they didn't manage to score against the Canadians. The Canadian goalkeeper, I mean, who even is he? I'm from Canada. I don't even know who he is. And they couldn't put the ball past him. Canada's best player, Alphonso Davies, didn't have the greatest game. Jonathan David didn't have the greatest game. So France really could have just picked them off there, and they didn't. So it's just a bit of worry for the French going into this tournament. Austria, on the other hand, are a very solid and consistent team. They have a lot of really great players in the team, a very solid team, not maybe massive standout players, but a very cohesive team altogether. So could Austria give France a game? I definitely think they could give France a game. I think it will be a tight game, but I do think France pull out 3-2. But look for France to maybe actually go down early, maybe go down 1-0, and then bring it back and score. Because with players like Kylian Mbappe on the team, they should have no problem actually beating the Austrians. So I'm going to predict that 3-2. In our penultimate matchup, we have Turkey versus Georgia. This is one of the matches where Georgia could get a victory. Turkey aren't coming in the greatest form. They're coming in as a pretty low-rated team in the overall scheme of the FIFA Men's World Rankings. So could Georgia get a victory here? Georgia coming in, I believe, 75th in the world. This is the first ever Euro tournament. Could they find a victory? I don't think so. I think Turkey are going to take this one 1-0. It'll be a pretty comfortable victory for them. They'll get that one goal and probably just sit back and play defense. That's what I'm predicting. And then we end off with probably another amazing matchup, Portugal versus the Czech Republic. This will be a brilliant matchup. Portugal are coming in having lost to Croatia, having lost to Slovenia. You know, before that, I think they won 11 straight, so they were in pretty good form before that, but they're coming in having two kind of iffy losses. Czech Republic are coming in on pretty good form. So this could be a game for Portugal, but they're going to try to come in and really show out here. They've got brilliant players like Rafael Leao, Cristiano Ronaldo, and probably one of his last international tournaments will probably really want to be showing out. Can Bruno Fernandes kind of find form again and playing with this Brazilian squad? So I think, not Brazilian squad, this Portuguese squad. So I think Portugal will come through and win very comfortably here, 3-1. But look for the Czech Republic to maybe have a surprise here with Souček and Sofal, a couple of West Ham players, kind of coming in and trying to shake things up. But I think Portugal win this 3-1. Those are my match day 1 predictions for the Euro Championships. Let me know if you want to see match day 2 or 3. Please drop a subscription if you like this. And like always, have a good one. See you next time.